Hey, Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome to get back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are getting into a conversation this morning with Mr. John Arnold, who is a producer, composer, and of course a musician within our space, and Mr. Michael Boothman, event promoter and artist. And we are here talking with these two gentlemen because we are talking about the art galleries, Jazz Meets Art. Good morning and welcome to you, Booths.
Good morning.
Morning.
Now, first of all, tell me, what is Jazz Meets Art? What is this all about?
All right. So the concept is one. I met with Martin Superville, who is actually doing Serendipity, the art show for the last 2 weeks. And he's closing that show. So I literally collaborated with him. And I said, do as meets the art, meaning people enjoying art, but also that eclectic kind of mood, but having some jazz music being part of it. And none other than Mike Boothman, who my dear friend, and he has been in Vineyard for years. As a matter of fact, this weekend I sent for him an old flyer from 1983 when they did something at Blue Haven, and it was $15 to go in. Of course, we're in 2023.
Wow.
It's going to be $100 to enter. But Mike's music, my music, Lynette Louis vocalist, and we have Richard Joseph coming up from Trinidad. I think it's going to be a wonderful evening, and that's the intention, so that people come to get a sense of the ambience of art, but they also get an entertainment with some great jazz.
Certainly, it sounds exciting. And Mr. Boothman, I just would like, from you, I mean, tell me about your involvement in this and, what attracted you to it.
Well, as John said earlier on, I mean, we have been friends for a long time, since the inception of Kariwak. That's a long time. And again, though, I have been part of Tobago. My album Heaven, the Heaven album, was actually, the lyrics and stuff was written in Tobago. I used to do a lot of my songwriting and stuff in Tobago. Tobago has been a place where I could go and relax in solitude and be able to pick up real nice vibe, eat food, fish, and do food and stuff like that, and enjoy the ambience of Tobago. So when John brought the idea to me, at first I thought it was included my paintings, because I'm also an artist. But I learned afterwards it was an existing exhibition, and I'm happy to be part of it. Because anything with art and music, as a matter of fact, a year ago I got Hummingbird Gold for art and culture. So that's something that lends itself.
And Mr. Arnold, as someone who pioneers jazz music, I know you have such an amazing passion for jazz in particular. I mean, tell me about that combination of art with jazz.
Yeah, I mean, I travel. Fortunately, I travel, and one of the things that really attracts me, I go to several art galleries, art museums. Recently, I just came back from New York, and I museum, which is the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And by the way, anybody who has never had a chance, you can't do it in one day, because it features over 2 million pieces, and it captures all over the world: Egypt, Arab, I mean, you just name it. And art and music have always been, if you go back to the Greek time, music, theater, dance were all part, and art were all part of that whole thing about performativity and so on. It has always been, they all inspire each other. So for me, I think this is a new part. We're hoping to do many jazz meet art shows. This is the first we are going to be pioneering, but the intention, both Martin and myself, is to do more of this. In the future, I'm looking forward to actually featuring even Michael Boothman's art. You know what I mean? So this is really the start of many more shows we plan to do every quarter. That's the intention at this time. So every quarter, every 3 months, 4 months, we're going to be hosting one of these shows. And I think it's a beautiful evening. It's a nice time. We just came out of Heritage. And again, we're going into this summer. We don't have summer, but we call it summer. But we're going into this summer vibe. I think, it's a nice evening to come, get some nice drinks, soup, and relax, and, really kind of take in the music. And I'm telling you, it's going to be great. One of the great Tobago vocalists in terms of jazz is Lynette Louis, and we're going to feature her. And we're actually going to do a song because we want to pay a little tribute to Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? So we're going to be doing that. All right. So expect some magic, expect some improvisation. And I know, Michael, you will be doing Heaven, right?
I'll be doing Heaven, and also my new material. I have an album that's out just about a year called Songbook 1, and I'm just about to release Songbook 2. So you will hear some of the new works that needs to be exposed in Trinidad and Tobago. Because what happened is I approached the marketing from outside in. So I've been able to get a lot of traction from most of the outer world, because I'm on Boomplay, which is an African streaming platform, Sign. So I'm getting the type of traction from those streaming platforms. So now it's time to concentrate on the local markets.
And to bring it home. And certainly, that's going to be such a treat.
Tobago will be the first to already get the exposure of it, actually. So some of the things that they're going to hear on Sundays, pretty new stuff that I'm now going to be putting out. So Tobago, again, just like how I did when I did Heaven, Tobago started it. I came back to Tobago and I did and work and put it out there. So I'm starting that whole regime again, to do that way,
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Arnold, sorry. Okay,
no, I was saying, Kandace, I was just going to add, one of the things I think people should look for, and I have all, in fact, I plan, and I'm sure Michael's going to bring some of his other works. I think a lot of people don't realize that I have 7 albums. I'm sure Michael has more than that. So we want to also have that on display. And these CDs are going to go very cheaply, because we have moved in the G now, So I'm going to have some of mine there. Tobago Jazz, Kaiso in the Jazz Stew, the recent project I did with Tambourine and so on. We're going to have all that there, So it's going to be a wonderful evening. And people just have to come out. Yeah. And by the way, I don't think you can beat $100. That's like
giveaway.
Tell me a bit about some of the other artists that will be featured in the art side of things. Well, the painting side of things, I should say.
Right. So I would be the one to really give a little more context to that. Unfortunately, on this live, but the serendipity, I myself went to see it, and very interesting art. And Martin himself, don't realize, is probably the only art gallery in Tobago. I don't know of any other that you can just walk in to look at art, except the one at Tobago Art Collection, which I'm not too sure what the current status is. But in terms of a private art gallery, I don't like Tobago. So it's actually the only one we have, and is because is who's passionate about art. I don't know if you've ever gone there, Kandace.
Oh yes, I
You
have. I
should
have.
go. Oh, yeah, right. So it's a wonderfully put away place, and I think people would love the ambience, love the art, enjoy the music.
Mhm.
And what a nice time to network and talk with friends and family, talk to Mike, and that nice storytelling, you know?
Certainly. And and it's such a wonderful way to be able to connect. I mean, connect over art and connect over some good jazz music.
Yes. I think
Certainly.
both create conversations.
Certainly. And well, Mr. Boothman, I mean, I don't know if you want to add, just how much does just art complement music, and what does that even just do to the creative side that we have within us, and so on.
Well, they asked the right person here because I am an artist. I paint and I compose, and basically it is a marriage. As a matter of fact, I get watching a blank canvas. It's just like watching a manuscript or going towards the computer and putting down ideas. So as a matter of fact, when I along with painting, I am actually composing most of the times simultaneously. You know, it's an art. It's a visual art. I usually tell people the reason why people know more about my music is because music is more exposed to a wider audience than actually visual art. You have to actually go to a gallery or go to someone's home or purchase a painting at various galleries and so on. But it's not something that is like every weekend there's a show or party or somewhere where you could hear music. So music being the audible uh, type of art and the visual art, both of them hand in hand and glove.
Great. All right, and then as we're getting ready to wrap our conversation this morning, Mr. Arnold, I don't know if you could give us the details again about where we could go to get this
Yeah.
lovely jazz and art mix.
Yeah. So the show takes place on Sunday, this Sunday coming, the 6th, at the Art Gallery, which is in Lowlands. You just go down that to go to cards. Instead of going to cards, you turn right, and then you'll see the sign which leads you to the Art Gallery. $100, and it starts at 5 p.m. It starts at 5 p.m. and it's going to be a mixture of music. Sometimes it's going to be myself, sometimes it's going to be Lynette, sometimes it's going to be Mike. But at juncture, it's going to be 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours of really solid enjoyment, networking, art, and the composition. And I'm sure we're going to have improvisation, which will have to do with that day, because none of us here know what's going on that day. And I like the response. Tickets are available at Actors Leather store on Burnett Street and also at the Art Gallery. And of course, people can reach me at 751-5027.
All right, great. I want to thank you both for being on with us and for sharing with us about the Art Gallery Jazz Meets Art coming up very soon, looking like a very, very wonderful event here within our space. And just such a wonderful thing, combining jazz music with art. Can't get better. All right, viewers, so we're going to take a quick break and we'll return in just a moment with GMT.